Take your triangle with the clip resting on your index finger and thumb, hold it high, grab the beater just like you would any other drumstick. You're going to use French grip, nice and relaxed. That's with the thumbnail facing toward you and rotating, striking the bottom part of the triangle. When you're playing rolls, open up your triangle slightly, flatten out your hand, and you're going to use an up and down hinging motion in the corner of the triangle. This video's sponsor is Black Swamp Percussion. They've been making great equipment since 1995. Their vision is to create superior quality percussion instruments that enable musicians of all skill levels to excel in their musical endeavors. Thanks again, Black Swamp, for sponsoring this video. Welcome to the very first Percussion Methods video. I'm really excited to get this channel started. I wanted to start with triangle because it's an instrument that I often see played in some pretty odd ways in terms of how the instrument is set up, the actual technique, the beaters, the clips. So this video is really designed to give an overview of basic technique and to talk about some good practices for how to set up the instrument and approach it and play it properly. Triangle is sometimes overlooked, but it's actually a really, really important highlighting instrument that composers use, and it sounds a lot different than just about any other instrument we have. It's a sound that really should be taken seriously, and some ways of playing it and preparing the instrument really are better than others. We should consider all of the parts of the triangle to be the instrument, so everything from the clip to the beater to the triangle itself or whatever we might be hanging it on. And the first thing I want to talk about is using a really, really good quality clip. These are Black Swamp's clips. They're great. They're bomb-proof. They have really nice thin monofilament with a little metal crimp on the end. They're actually, there's two strands here so that in the unlikely chance that one breaks, there's a second one there so your triangle doesn't just fall off. You want to avoid hanging your triangle from anything that's going to not allow those overtones to propagate. So anything like paracord or a shoelace or a hair tie or an old Band-Aid or the twist tie from a bread bag or like a big zip tie, an earthworm that you found on the ground, a strip of beef jerky, a carabiner that you would like use for climbing, a piece of old twine, a nail. I've actually seen someone stick a nail through a hole in the top of their triangle. Please don't do that. A strand of old stick tape. Yeah, you get the idea. You want whatever your triangle is resting on to be thin and not squishy again, so those overtones are really, really rich and abundant in your triangle sound. If you've got a clip and the hanging material is broken or needs to be replaced, or it's an old clip and it doesn't have any material on it at all, you've got some options. You can use monofilament fishing line. This is, I think, 10-pound test. Loop it through, tie a knot in it. You can also use, this is a security tag. You can buy these online. It's kind of like a little zip tie, but it's got these bumps in it. And this is nice because it'll also create minimal contact with the triangle and allow it to resonate freely. When you're in an ensemble setting and you're not playing your triangle, the best way to store it is on a trap table like this when it's soft and so it's not going to make any sound as you pick it up and set it down. I don't recommend clipping the triangle onto a music stand. It can make noise as you clip it and unclip it onto the stand. And I don't recommend playing the triangle while it's affixed to that music stand because A, it might not be high enough and you get the senile granny effect of your audience members are hearing an instrument but not seeing it. And also it can actually cause the music stand to vibrate and resonate a little bit, which isn't usually a complimentary sound. I like to hang my triangles with the right side closed as opposed to the right side being open, just because I'm a right-handed person. When I play my rolls, I like to roll on that closed side and not go across the triangle. But if you're a lefty, you might want to hang it with the closed side off to your left. That way when you're using that hinging motion, you're in that closed corner of the triangle. To break down the basic technique a little bit further, you're holding your clip nice and high. Some people actually like to look through the triangle right at the conductor. I like to look just above the clip at the conductor. Using French grip, so nice and relaxed, like you would use on, say, a ride cymbal or on timpani. Thumbnail facing toward you. rotating, you're gonna strike the bottom part of it. Sure, you can strike the other sides of the triangle to get some slightly different sounds. I like the bottom part of it because A, it's just a convenient place to strike the instrument, and B, you tend to get a really nice amount of overtones and harmonics in the sound. If we contrast this, that has a really nice amount of wash to it, really abundant overtones. Up here, we're probably gonna get a purer tone. It'll have a little bit more pitch. It is possible that that pitch could be dissonant with a higher instrument that's in the ensemble, say like piccolos or violins or something like that, but there's just less overtones present. The sound is a little bit more, you might say one-dimensional perhaps. Now, there's nothing wrong with that sound if that's what you're going for, but I do find striking it on the bottom just provides more of a richer tone to the instrument. I like to strike it at a slight angle. You can get a somewhat different sound if you strike it straight on. A little bit more of a direct sound. A little bit more of a diffuse sound by raising the wrist up a little bit. For rolls, again, we're gonna open up the triangle a little bit so we can get our hand in here. It's German grip, like what you would use for like two mallet playing and on snare drum, between the thumb and that crease in your index finger. In the corner of the instrument, just up and down in a hinging motion. Please do not go in a circle like dinner's ready, come and get it. You tend to get too coarse of a roll. The sound tends to be less consistent if you're going in a circular pattern, so in the corner, up and down. Sometimes the music will call to mute the triangle or play it open then muted. If you're holding this between your index finger and your thumb, you've got these back three fingers, kind of like when you mute timpani, to simply grab the triangle near the top. Just grabbing it at the top with those three fingers. There are some instances, although they're not super common, where there's a very intricate triangle part that would be best played by using two identically sized beaters. And one way you can accomplish that without the triangle swinging around like it might do on a single clip is actually to hang it from two positions. So I'm using two of these little security tags, and this is mounted onto a wind gong bracket, and that's all connected to like a cymbal stand, like a boom stand. And you've got a few options for where you play. You can go into French grip with your elbows out and rotate and play on these two open sides of the triangle. Kind of like that. By the way, this is an 8-inch triangle in steel. I think this is an 8-inch artisan, another Black Swamp triangle. You can also play on the top for a little bit more of an articulate and direct sound with slightly less overtones. Talking about your triangle selection, they come in a variety of different materials. A lot of the ones that you'll see that are a silvery color are usually made out of steel. You can also find really nice instruments. This is a 7-inch Legacy bronze by Black Swamp. It's a hammered bronze. It's really, really gorgeous. These bronze triangles, especially when they're hand hammered, tend to be more complex in their harmonics. They have more overtones. They're really nice for exposed moments where you want a really blossomy sound to your triangle. A steel instrument like this is really, really great for a traditional triangle sound. It cuts through an ensemble a little bit more and has slightly less complex harmonics. This is a 6-inch artisan by Black Swamp, and it sounds really, really gorgeous. This is a 6-inch model. This is the most standard size of triangles, and that's referring to what any of the sides are in length. Your beater selection is also important depending on the musical context. They make beaters in a variety of different sizes. These are the Black Swamp Spectrum beaters. There's a rubber grip down here. It's really, really nice in the hand. Some good weight up front. These are the medium-sized ones. For bigger, bolder playing, you can get a little bit larger beater. It's going to send more energy into the triangle and do more work for you. And for more delicate playing, you can get a beater that's much smaller here on the tip of it. And that's great because then you don't need to be afraid of striking the triangle at more of a normal velocity because you have this huge piece of metal in your hand. Black Swamp also makes this great beater. It's a spectrum beater in a teardrop shape, and this is great if you've got lots of dynamic changes because you can play really, really softly with the thin part of it out here, and then you get a bolder sound and you send more energy into the instrument when you play in the thicker part of the beater there. So this is a really, really nice option. When you're storing your triangles and they're not in use, you should put your beaters in a bag like this one. You can put your triangles in a single bag like this one, and put the clip in the bag as well. Keeping your triangles and your triangle accessories in bags helps keep them from getting damaged. It also keeps them organized and identifiable. It also keeps them from getting overly dirty. Another option is to use a larger storage system like this triangle gig pack. I can actually fit all 3 of the triangles I used in this video and all the beaters and all the clips right in here. And so when your students are going to grab triangles, if you're, say, sight reading new music, you've got a really nice selection of gear they can use all in one place.